EA Sports. Special edition of the National Football League for this Halloween matchup. It's the 49ers and the that comes your way next on Madden Football.
They say summer is the time to live in Chicago. Well, that's extended into autumn as we are ready to roll under blue skies at Soldier Field. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And the Bears offense making their way out now for their first drive with Justin Fields, the rookie from Ohio State, at quarterback.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. So a glance here at the key inactives. There's other reasons, but this list, one of the reasons they've been struggling some this year.
And one that they won't make excuses with, but everyone knows that this is the key reason. Without these players, it's made it very difficult for them this season. They've battled, they've scrapped. But without those guys, hard to win games.
Calling a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. Oh, and Montgomery just unable to twist free as they hit him the line to gain. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Niners will go on offense First and 10. Out comes the San Francisco offense as they are led out by their quarterback, the man known as Jimmy G. That's Jimmy Garoppolo.
And Jimmy Garoppolo has shown that he can be a Super Bowl quarterback, but his biggest problem, his ability to stay healthy and remain on the field. When able, he's a capable quarterback prone to winning games both in the regular and postseason.
And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. First carry now for Trey Sermon. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Now Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Now a 1st down carry, it's Williams. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
Now a good job shifting right, finding his target. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Handoff comes to Montgomery. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The numbers on the ground for Montgomery in last week's affair. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
And this is taken in at the 5. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A big play that time through the air. 38 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. They'll run with Montgomery. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. Well, speed is definitely a calling card if you play cornerback in this league, and he does a terrific job there of hustling in quickly to make the play. On 2nd and goal, Fields to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
Montgomery will score. Touchdown, Chicago. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to get him over the goal line.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'm trying to do better here. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. To throw again on second down. Garoppolo. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. Garoppolo going to try and throw on third. This to the outside, it's Sermon. And he is going to have a Niners first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. And, Charles, this defense, they know that they've got their work cut out for them. Here's a quarterback coming off a game in which he threw 4 touchdowns. And they've watched the tape all week. They've seen it. But what can they do differently?
I think they've got to approach it like a pitcher facing a really hot batter. Get him uncomfortable in the box. Change speeds, change locations, change the pitches you throw at him. So show different coverages. Blitz sometimes, drop back other times. Just don't let him get comfortable or let him get into rhythm.
And he's going to have a Niners first down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Now a run with Sermon. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. On play action, it's Garoppolo. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Well, they had gone run the previous play. Nice little setup. This time they go play action. Defense bites a bit, and they hit for a big play in the end zone.
So they sold it really well, didn't they? Because it's just what you described. They ran it the previous play, come back with the same action, and now they step back and throw it and get a big play for a touchdown. But what happens as a defensive back is your eyes have to go to the right place. You always hear Coach talk about, are your eyes in the right spot? Well, this time the eyes went to the play act. It froze their feet. They weren't moving, and he went on past them and caught the pass for a touchdown.
Gold with the extra point, and that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So I'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. David Montgomery ready to take the field for the Bears' next possession. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
From the 31, Fields escaping the pressure right. And his throw here's incomplete. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that one or two guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. From the gun, Sermon. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Sermon now on 1st and 10. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Still 9 remaining on second down. Garoppolo. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Khalil Mack has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Back to throw here. Oh, he's going to go for it all. That'll be caught by Ayuk. Touchdown 49ers. Well, you're not going to hear Jimmy Garoppolo mentioned among the strongest arms in the league, but that doesn't mean he can't beat you with the long way. And you think on 3rd down they'd just be looking for something right beyond the sticks, and I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play. And that ball traveling 68 yards in the air according to Next Gen Stats. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second. A shotgun snap, Fields. Flush to his right. And he goes out right around the 39.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A give. This is Montgomery. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Sliding out of the pocket. They'll find Goodwin here on the right side. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 45-yard line. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Flushed out right. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
And look at this. For the second straight play, the 49er defense drops him for a loss. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You got it. How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, that was a show of support to even allow him to attempt to make that kick. And you know if he did, that would tie the NFL record. That's a heck of a shot.
Yeah, it would have been a big deal, but a little bit short. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. That one going to be complete to David Moore. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Alec Ogletree in on the stop.
Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
From the 27, Garoppolo gets this one to Juszczyk. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And this is going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. Room here to run. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 47 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw is Fields. Rolling to his right. And this one's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete. We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
This is caught, and he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage 1 play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run for it with Montgomery. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is down to a field goal. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Set to take over again here on offense, Jimmy G and the 49ers. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your... Confidence does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards. On the first down completion. Another carry here for the fullback, Juszczyk. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for the first with Sermon. And Sermon is not going to get there. Great work defensively to stop him short. That'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on first down, but unable to do much from there. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time, and the Bears take over. David Montgomery ready to take the field for the Bears' next possession. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how's he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
Montgomery a first down and then some. And all the way up to the 45-yard line. 64 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. On the ground, it's Montgomery. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Fields. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he's on to punt for Chicago. He's been a busy first half as he gets it away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They run. Here's Sermon. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. 2nd and 7.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Well, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. That ball caught Brandon Ayuk. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 41. Now a handoff. Sermon. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Garoppolo to throw. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on third down.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime.
Let's go!
Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
On first down, it's Fields. Deep ball for Goodwin. It got his man complete. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. A huge play there for Chicago. They'll make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. And the Niners are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to...
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Akeem Hicks able to record his 5th sack of the season. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. So we are at halftime here on Halloween. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, make sure you avoid the crazies out there and welcome in everybody to this Halloween edition of our EA Sports Halftime Report. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit, and it's the Eagles who are out in front. The Eagles seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Next, we head down to Houston to check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting LA Rams. Deshaun Watson has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Former #1 overall pick Joe Burrow with a touchdown pass. We continue on with a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Niners. And they've had some success on the ground. And with the lead going into the second half, they'll no doubt be looking to keep it going. Meanwhile, for the Bears, by comparison, they've been the better of these two sides in the rushing department, as you see the numbers there. These two teams currently going over their final halftime adjustments. We are just about set to get back to it in the second half. And for the call, let's go back to Soilder Field and Brandon Goddard.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Niners to take over on offense. They are trying to snap that 3-game losing streak on top so far with the football here, 1st and 10. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the 3rd quarter. Garoppolo's throw pulled in by Kittle. And some room to maneuver. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A big play that time on the catch and run. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They give the Sermon out of the gun. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Meanwhile, Garoppolo's throw complete here to Ayuk.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore.
And the 49ers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo.
And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Now from way back there after the sack. It's 3rd and goal, a long 3rd and goal. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone.
And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down.
The kick by Gold is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Able to push his way through. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Give the tackle there to Josh Norman.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. He'll buy some time right. And he finds Montgomery complete.
And he will have the Bears 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play. Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Able to haul it in is Kittle. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. On the handoff, Sermon. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Well, they've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. Quick by Moore. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So into their territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 41.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
And he's taken down inside the 30. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. Pass incomplete. Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback, the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Now it's Sermon. And a good display of footwork will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Again with Sermon. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
And Gold is able to put it through, and that will make this a 9-point lead. A 2nd field goal here this 3rd quarter, his 3rd of the game so far.
He's been an important part of the offense, that's for sure, and they may need him again before this one's said and done. So I would treat him like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter. Leave him alone and let him focus.
Here's Cohen now to return. Running room at the 50. Look out. There he goes, right side. He will score. Touchdown, Bears. So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 87 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Now a first down throw, Fields. They'll roll him out right. And he's got the speedster Goodwin. And finally out of bounds all the way down to about the 2. A huge play there for Chicago. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll run with with Montgomery. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. David Montgomery with his third touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season. And the Bears are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the third. Santos with the extra point, and the lead is down to 2. After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. First man through. It's the fullback use check. And once again, he's going to be stopped up behind the line. Second straight play. Shades of the 85 Bear defense a little bit. The Niners on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Back now at Soldier Field. The Niners on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. This is Sermon. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's Sermon. And he slips up past the 45 before being...
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they first down, he's the guy they turn to. Defense thinks they feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
On play action, now Garoppolo. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Khalil Mack racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Garoppolo. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Garoppolo looks to throw. And that will be incomplete.
The frustration evident there because he couldn't find anyone on 3rd down, and he left no doubt that he was throwing that one away.
And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright, and this score will stay right where it is. Had a chance to give themselves there some important wiggle room, but it went awry.
Yeah, let's do the simple math here. And you know, for me, it has to be simple. Instead of this thing kind of giving them that wiggle room you talked about, now we're talking about possibly losing a ball game because they left the door open.
104 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. Running left, Montgomery. And they get him down at the 1. He had the broken tackle, but ultimately could not get into the end zone. 2nd and goal from the 1. Once more, Montgomery. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down.
Well, they made the play there, and I'll guarantee you their coaches and the other players are screaming at them about their pride. Come on, guys. He's already gotten in 3 times. You can't give...
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. David Montgomery. Fine work there on the touchdown run. And the Bears have retaken the lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is up to 5. The touchdown here, Santos to kick this one away.
This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
But the bad news for them, they've seen that cushion they once had totally evaporate, and they're working from behind. The good news, they now have the opportunity to regain the lead right back.
And he goes out right around the 39. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
On 2nd down, it's Sermon.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Stopped immediately there. Tackle was made by Joel Iyiegbuniwe. Another carry here for the fullback, Juszczyk. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
Garoppolo's throw taken in by Samuel.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now a run with Sermon.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Throw left side complete. That's more. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game.
That's caught by Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, San Francisco.
3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the 49ers have retaken the lead.
And now remember, all touchdowns are reviewed, and in a tight game like this, they're going to take a good long look at it. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage, at least give your team a fighting chance.
David Montgomery ready to take the field for the Bears' next possession.
I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got it 2nd and goal now as they look for that final dagger. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. Garoppolo to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground. Now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
They'll try and power it in with Juszczyk. And he's not going to get there. They tackle him at the 2. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Chicago defense able to come up with a goal line stand. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this one is incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
From his own end zone, Fields.
Eluding the pressure right.
But no help there as they'll get to him at the 5.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
They've been trying and trying, but they haven't sacked him yet. He's been able to get away and make plays. Tried to make another one downfield right there, but to no avail. They'll have to keep up the pursuit, though, and not let him get hot.
They go for it on 4th and goal, but that winds up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. Thank goodness, that means this next drive is going to begin 1st and goal already at the 5-yard line.
Here's Sermon.
And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Again, Sermon. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
So the victory here for San Francisco. And I tell you, this was a fun one. Just a close game. Nothing comes easy.